Hi, I'm Mike Sanderson. As many of you know, I'm a New College alum and I've been very involved in the Board of Governors over the past 3 years. This comment is to restate and clarify my opinion I gave Monday at the UF Board of Trustees meeting in wake of your very serious and appreciated discussion. But if you'd like a splash of normalcy in these troubled times, I have a video on the metrics, giving a 3-minute public comment mocking Richard Corcoran for his failure on the metrics. If you prefer to pretend, if you prefer that. I appreciate the work that the Board of Governors does for the people in the state of Florida, and I appreciate the comments from all of the governors, old and new, who had great points, and I appreciate board members standing up for themselves and their board. And my comments should not be taken as an ad hominem attack on Alan Levine. There's a lot of water under the bridge between Alan Levine and myself already, and I think Alan knows that. My criticism is from a point of disappointment and frustration, and my 3 main points on governance in the letter still stand. Point 1, that the interim president contract was in the Board of Governors materials and everyone had a chance to see it. The chair, the vice chair, the full board, the chancellor, the general counsel, the public. So it's not that you can't change your mind or raise something you didn't raise earlier, but to portray this as a new crisis is totally inappropriate in light of the fact it's been in the public for 8 months. And other practices have been going on for years. And Alan Levine has been around for years. So, point 2, the just backwards logic of saying that unilateral action by a chair is wrong according to the unilateral action of a chair. It just doesn't make any fundamental sense. And to do it in the name of good governance is backwards. And point 3 is the authority to hold items off the agenda. And regarding the dueling opinions, I'm not saying this could never be true, that this is proper, but the opinion that was read strips it of its context. And because we have a letter, we can look at what the letter said, which is that any items on the agenda, any issue requested for the agenda. So the idea you can take things that were in progress for months and years and were planned and scheduled, and 6 days later say everything's held up until this issue is resolved, that's an arbitrary and capricious abuse of power. I will stick that label on it. You could make a colorable case that the presidential authority issues have to be resolved before the new president is in place, but we can set that aside because the letter said any issue, any item, and in fact the housing, which is totally unjustified, was held up. And if you're concerned generally, look at what's happening at New College, but also look at what's happening at Florida Poly. It mocks the very idea of merit and good governance to see what's happening down there. And the issues in the second part of the letter with the Inspector General should not be overlooked. Asking for a review, I have never heard of a review, and I think it has no standards whatsoever. I would like to focus on the general practice, which is the absurdity that the Inspector General takes complaints about a chair of a board of trustees, a chair of an audit committee, or the president, and forwards them back down to the university for handling. In conclusion, Vice Chair Serio is right. You shouldn't be getting dueling legal opinions, although the legal opinions that have been released already are helpful. And if you want an example of good governance, it's Vice Chair Serio leaning forward in the later to steer the meeting from the audit committee to the facilities committee to help the trains keep running on time. Look, I'm a member of the public. 25 years ago, I was a student at New College when the first boards of trustees were created, and I saw the amendment to create the Board of Governors firsthand. And I think it is part of the solution. So in conclusion, I hope you look at what's happening in Florida Poly and at New College. I'll have more to say about governance in the days and weeks and years to come. Thank you.